Okay, welcome back everybody. So this is episode 4 of the series I'm making on how to build a website in WordPress, how I build websites in WordPress using the methodologies that I use. And in the last episode, I installed the Kadence theme and I made a few little tweaks. Now, what I've done is while you were away, I've been testing on a development website or a development subdomain of my remembering domain name. And I've made a few tweaks to the header, to the footer, and a couple of other things. So what I want to do in this video is I want to show you what I've done, and then I'm going to try and recreate that same look on the live site. Right, so let's just take a look at what is actually going on. So as you will recall, this was how we left things the last time we looked at this website. And what I want to do now is show you what I've done. Boom. So how do you like that? Okay, so this is the tweaked version that I have played around with over the last few days. So what I'll show you here is what I've actually done. And you'll see up at the top I have I've changed the color of that first line of the header to be black with white writing, and I have put in a little message that I will have on my website asking for support, financial support for the writing that I'm going to be doing. And what will happen is people can click on this link and it will take them to my Yoco page where they can make a payment to me directly. Just below that, I've got the menu line, which contains the menu, and I've made some adjustments to this. I've created some categories of what I'm going to be writing about. There will be an about page, which I haven't created yet, and I'm not sure if I'll have a contact page, but for now it's in there. What's wrong about this at the moment is I haven't actually fiddled with the colors, so the colors are not quite what they should be. I've made this blue in the background here. I'll probably change that to something else. And then on the right hand side of this line, I've actually put a logo. It's not a logo, but it's actually a font, and I've just put that in there for the name of the website. So that's where people will know what it is. I might do a logo, I probably won't, I don't know, we'll see. You'll notice that there is a line missing now, so we've only got 2 lines. I decided to take off the logo line, which is the one that we had originally over here, if we look at that tab. So that we now only have the menu line and the line just above it, the first line, and I've made both of them sticky. As I said in the previous video, you can decide which ones you want to keep sticky or not. I've put in a little photograph that I took about, probably 2009, and if any of you are interested in this, is the Kokstad area, farmlands around the Kokstad area. Nothing else has changed on the main content here. Those are still the dummy blog posts. And I don't know what this actually is, but we'll get rid of that when I'm ready to actually fully develop the website or fully change the website. There's a subscribe area here, which I don't think actually works in its default state. So I would have to tweak that to make sure that it actually takes people to where I need them to be. The other thing I changed was in the footer, I moved the widgets around. So on the left-hand side, I've got my copyright information. And on the right-hand side, it's just a repeat of what I have up at the top over there. The last thing that I changed was this back to top button. So that basically, I've just put it so that it doesn't clash with the footer color. I may change the footer color at some point. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to work for me or not, but it is what it is for now. Right, okay, so that's what it looks like. I'm starting to take shape, and what I want to do now is just basically see if I can recreate this for you on, excuse me. So what I want to do now is I want to just see if I can recreate all of this stuff on the other installation, which is not on the development part of the website. So let's go. Right, everything that I did was done in the customize menu. So we just click on customize. Now, if you're not familiar with customize, basically, I've been logged out. Basically, what happens with Customize is you're affecting things on a global level with your WordPress website. Whereas if you're affecting a page, you would be using the Kadence builder or the Elementor builder or the Gutenberg builder. which is what we've chosen for this installation. Okay. Right, so looking at this now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to change the color of this background here. So let's click on that, and we'll go to the Design tab, and you'll see that under the top row here, this little thing with the checkerboard on it is the color. And what's nice about this theme is that you can actually set an opacity also. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this to pure black, and the hex code for pure black is just 6 zeros. There you go. Okay, but now the text is no longer visible, so we would need to change that. And the easiest way of doing that is to just do exactly the same sort of thing here. We've got these little, it looks like a football to me, but it's actually a globe. And we can select the color of the font. Now, white would be 4 Fs. 6 Fs, I beg your pardon. But that's a little bit too white, so I'm going to tone it down a couple of stops, and I'm going to basically make it DDD, DDD. And it just doesn't quite stick out quite as much as it did before. Okay, so that's the design. Now we're going to change the actual text over here. So let's just select all of that text and we'll get rid of it. I just need to copy what I had actually written there because I would never remember it. So just a straightforward copy and paste. It's actually pasted the URL in as well. So the link would be over here, and if you double click it, there you go. That's where my link is going to take people. Right, we're already done with that. Oh, one more thing is the font, but I'm going to do that shortly. So let's just publish this for now. And we will go back to the global changes here. And I'm looking for something that's going to let me change the font that I'm using. Normally under the general. So there we go, typography. I actually found a font that I quite like. It is called Quicksand. So let's just type that in here. Quicksand. There it is. And voila. All of the text throughout the website is now changed to Quicksand. Republish that. Okay, so now you'll notice that the link over on the top here is kind of disguised because it's not the same color as everything else. So we would have to go and find a place where we could change that. Now I'm trying to recall how I did this. Might be here under colors. There we go, content links, link style, links color. But I think this is actually more specific to, because if I change the color of that link there, it's going to change it throughout the website. So I think it was more specific to the actual, to the bit at the top of the first line of the header. There we go, let's go to header. It can get a little bit confusing if you're getting all these nested menus here. The most efficient way of finding that is to just put your mouse over the area that you want to edit and click on the little pencil, and it should take you directly into it over here. Link colors, well, there you go. So the initial color would be the color that we want it to be, and then we can also specify a hovering color. So let's click on that first one. And we want it to be, let's choose something in the greens. And you can pretty much move this anywhere you want, and you can see what it's doing while it's actually working with it. So I'm going to go for a slightly darker green. I actually can't remember what I chose on the other one, but we won't get into that too much. Publish that. And the hover, we will go to the same green. What was that green? Hang on, let's just find that green. So I would check that hex code there, and I'm going to just copy that. And let's just go back here and paste that hex code in there. All right, and now I want to make it a little brighter, so I'm just going to drag it right up there, like that. Okay, so now what happens is when you move the mouse over there, it just brightens up that link. Okay, that part is done. Let's move on. Okay, folks, so the next part of the website that I've fiddled around with was the second row of the header. And all I did here, as you can see, is I moved the menu to the right hand side and I put the logo in on the left hand side, and I got rid of these social media icons, which I won't be having. So to get rid of those, all you have to do is you go to the, well, you saw that I clicked on the pencil there. Go to the social items and you can just remove each one of them. Like so. Just remember to click publish all the time, and that's it. So those ones are gone. Now what I wanted to do was I wanted to move that menu from the left side to the right side. So to do that, you'll notice that down at the bottom of the page you actually have a section here which shows the widgets that are, well, the areas of the header that you can actually put stuff into. So over here on the top row I've got that HTML, which is this part here. And then on the next row I've got the primary navigation on the left hand side, and I've got the social on the right hand side. I can actually just kill that social by clicking on that cross over there, and it takes it out completely. I probably didn't even have to go and do removal of those little individual ones. So now I want to move that primary navigation. I'll just go to drag it over to the right hand side, let go, and there you go. You'll see it's there. I do want to add a search bar or a search icon in there. So to do that, I click on the plus and then I click on search, and boom, there we go. It's now in there. Okay, then over on the extreme left hand side, I wanted to put the logo in. And to do that, just go back to this row, click on the plus, and I'm not seeing what I want to see. Oh, that's because logo is in over there. So now all I have to do is I've got to drag that logo from the bottom and put it over there. And that's it. Now you'll notice that the row below here has disappeared entirely, and that's because I moved that widget from that row to that row. So while there are no widgets in the bottom row here, it's invisible and it won't appear. So that's the way I wanted to have it looking, and I'm very happy with that. So I'll just click on publish, check it out, and it still scrolls. Right, so the next thing I wanted to do is actually change the scroll to top item, which is over here. So I'm just going to hide that for now, the header builder. And the scroll to top is, you'll see that when I move the cursor over there, if I click shift, if I hold down shift and click, I can edit that element and it takes me directly into it over here. So I chose this one, and I also chose to move it up slightly. So the bottom offset is currently at 30 pixels, and if I increase that, I'll get it to more or less where I want it to be. Hey, not so fast, young man. I just want to take it off that colored section there, and that's it. Right, then at the bottom we've got the footer, and all I did in the footer was I added the other HTML widget, which is let's just, I'm going to try and, I have to try and work out what this is doing, because this is a very different way of working to what I'm used to. So if I seem a little confused, that's the reason why. So let's just put that widget in there, and if we add a widget, we'll click on add, and it's just custom HTML, which we will copy directly from the place where I had it originally. So it's in there. Go and right click, copy, and just straightforward paste. Now what you'll notice that's different here is that I don't have the hyperlink anymore, so I have to manually put that in, and this might freak you out if you don't know HTML, but basically HTML, to put in a hyperlink, href, I'm going to put 2 colons, close the command there, and then that here text, oops, there are 3 errors which must be fixed. I know there are errors, but you are doing things that I'm not asking you to do. Cut that and paste it in there, and here is the link that I need to put in. So I've got to put it in between the inverted commas, and all I have to do to get that right is to go here, right click on that, copy the link, and then I'll just paste it in there. Okay, it's still got an error here, and that's because I have not put the equal sign in. For some reason. Okay, and that's it. So yeah, this is why coding is so difficult for a lot of people to get to grips with, is because you have to do a lot of concentrating. If you have a character in the wrong place, it won't work. So we're done with that, and we'll click on publish, and for some reason I have it there twice. So let's get rid of one of those. Don't know how that has happened. Well, that's typical. Widget 1. Let's remove. There we go. It's there. It's there. It's there. We're all done. Okay, let's hide that, and let's just get out of the customize mode, and we'll have a look at what's changed. So we've done the top row. I've done the second row. I haven't changed this here yet. I'll save that for another episode. And if you scroll to the bottom, I now have the footer the way I want it, and I've got the back to top the way I want it. All right, so that's all for this episode. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section, and I'll try my best to answer them. Until next time, take care.